Hi, so this is my author study. This is like the third time I've had to restart this video because my dogs keep arguing with each other and barking, but I'm going to try to just go with it and ignore them this time. So I did my author study on a website called s'more.com. I love this. It's like kind of like a flyer, and you can add pictures, videos, whatever you need. So my author I chose was Sarah Dessen, and I chose Sarah Dessen because the first week I read Dreamland by Sarah Dessen and fell in love with it. And my best friend from high school, I remember she always read Sarah Dessen, and I was never interested in it, but I tried it out for this class, loved it, and so I kind of wanted to learn more about her and more about the different books she has written. So, just a little background on Sarah Dessen. I put a picture right there for you of her and what she looks like. And Harvey, stop. Sarah Dessen is the #1 New York Times best-selling author of many novels for young adults and teens. She has received many awards for her novels, including being a 2017 recipient of the Margaret A. Edwards Award from the American Library Association. Sarah was born in 1970 in Illinois. Her parents are both English professors. They are both English professors at the University of North Carolina, and that Sarah continued her college education at North Carolina in creative writing and English. She currently lives in Chapel Hill with her family. Her first novel was published in 1996, and she's written 11 after that, and that first novel was called That Summer. Most of Sarah Dessen's novels deal with change in youth's personality as they go through some sort of tragedy or loss. So, right below this, you can just scroll down on the page, and it says some of Sarah Dessen's books. So these are just some of them. Truth About Forever, What Happened to Goodbye, Dreamland, Just Listen, Someone Like You, That Summer, Saint Anything, Moon and More, and Once for All. And some popular themes from Sarah Dessen's novels are mother and daughter relationships, tragedy or loss, isolation, so a teenager or that feels lonely for some sort of reasons. Maybe her friends are upset her boyfriend broke up with her, her family leaves them out, just certain things that a lot of female teenagers go through. Emotional distance among family members, and progressive change in people's personalities. So that's kind of like in Dreamland. This girl goes through a change in her life. Her older sister runs away on her birthday, and she progressively changes as a person. She starts smoking marijuana. She starts dating a really bad boy that physically abused her. She starts ditching her friends all the time. Her personality completely changes once her sister left. It was a big, horrible, change for her. She missed her. Her family was always worrying, and just a lot was going on. So she witnessed tragedy and loss, which was on that mother and daughter relationship. There was a lot of mother and daughter relationships in the book. Isolation. She felt very alone because the only person that she talked to was her boyfriend, who treated her horribly and emotionally and physically hurt her. And she changed. It's a progressive change in people's personality. She progressively changed throughout the story. At the end, she was able to find herself again. And in ways that I relate to that book, I had a relationship that was not healthy, and my ex-boyfriend, he never physically hurt me, but he emotionally hurt me. He cheated on me. He lied, and it kind of took a toll on me. And to this day, I have trust issues because of him. And reading this book just made me realize more what I'm going through, that some other people are going through that too. And I think it's important for young teenagers or females, young adults, they need to read books like this too. So, that's what I had to say on how I connected with the book. So, this is information taken from famousauthors.org, and I'm just going to read it to you. Another Dessen's novel, published in 2004, was received positively by the critics. The Truth About Forever was about a teen, Macy, who suffered from the loss of her father's ultimate death. No one comes forward to comfort her in her time of need, not even her mother, boyfriend, or co-workers. Things got worse for Macy as her boyfriend breaks up with her and she has to deal with that on top of everything. However, she eventually things get resolved as she finds peace in her life along with a new friend. The novel earned great praise for true-to-life depiction of the subject matter. And this is about a female who felt lonely and had to go through a tragedy, and no one was there for her. And I just think so many young female adults can relate to stories like this, because females have a lot of emotion, they have to deal with a lot of pain, and sometimes you feel alone, and they need to learn that they're not alone. Boys, come here. And in one of her interviews, Dessen explained her inspiration for her novel, Just Listen. She saw a picture of a group of young and rich friends having fun in a yearbook and instantly assumed that they must be living a perfect life. Just as she thought about it, she felt absurdity of her assumption, which became the base of her novel. The protagonist of Just Listen, Annabelle Green, has a picture of perfect on-screen life. In real life, she loses her best friend at the start of the semester and has problems of her own and dysfunctional family, which she learns to deal with as she makes a new friend. And this kind of story, I think all girls can relate to. There's always that girl in high school that we look at and we're like, oh my gosh, she probably has the perfect life. But really, she has problems too. She has issues too. She has pain too. She probably feels lonely too. We just don't see the true her at school or in that setting that we see them at. Stop. Come on. She made her novel writing debut 3 years after graduation in 1996. The novel was, that summer, about a youth dealing with rapid changes in and friends' relationship dynamics. Age 15, she tries to deal with her father's second marriage, her sister's engagement, and her best friend's odd behaviors. Dessen's next novel was about a young adult drama, Someone Like You. The book was split into 3 portions, each one showing a progress and decline in relationships. So all of her books, I do think, relates more to the females than the males, and it's usually a female telling their story too. So boys probably, I can't see that many boys choosing to read this, but I can see them liking it. And this is a video I added. It was a Sarah Dessen interview, but I'll just play one short part, if it will let me. It might not even let me with the screen thing on. Maybe I can bring it up on YouTube. Yeah, my dogs, I have German short-haired pointers, and they're very, very hyper and crazy, but I just wanted to play this part.
Or something. That's the biggest compliment to me, is that anything that I wrote felt like nobody around me understood what I was going through, but I could open a book and feel like I'd found a home or something. That's the biggest compliment to me, is that anything that I wrote, even if it's just a sentence that made somebody feel a little bit better about where they were as an adolescent. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
It's a great gift, isn't it?
It is.
So I just really like that video because it shows that Sarah Dessen really cares about her readers, and she really wants to make a difference in their lives, making them feel like they're not alone, and I really like that about her. Something that she said after the video was, I always said I hated high school and couldn't wait to leave. I was a girl who got dumped senior year and was crying in the library. But the flip side to that is I can rewrite my happy endings. So she was one of those girls in high school that hated high school. This is coming from Sarah, by the way. And in the nearly 20 years since Dessen sold her first book, the young adult category has changed immensely, becoming the more popular mainstream, particularly with the arrival of Harry Potter, Twilight, and Hunger Games. And we've been talking a ton about censorship and the importance of it, and people have different opinions about it, and a lot of the topics in her book, I can see why parents would be upset with them. Some parents, I guess, but I just think think that this video would be really good to watch. Sarah Dessen for the banned books. She's just a 30-second video for the banned books because she just puts her input on censorship. So, let's play.
Freedom of expression and freedom to read is important because we all need to hear as many different kinds of voices as possible, especially when you're a teenager and you feel alone so much of the time in the world. It's often in a book where you can find somebody who really understands the one thing that you're feeling.
Well, thank you for listening. I'm sorry that it's a little too long. And bye.